Health is wealth. Good people, I trust that everybody's doing well. It's your brother, Tamar Brown. I'm coming right back at you with this add value. This video is dedicated towards helping to educate you about two of Zuma Worldwide's products that are, phenomenal, that have been upgraded. So whether or not if you are an existing member and you just might not be aware of it because you haven't placed an order in a while, or you may be somebody that you're looking to lose weight, you're looking for how to upgrade your daily nutrition on a supplemental level because you're on the go or what have you. You're gonna find this to be very valuable. The VP of sales at Zoom Worldwide up there in Hampton, Virginia, Kim Marsh, is going to take the mic on this recording. Now, mind you, this is just a disclaimer, okay? This video that was recorded in October of this year, prior to these products actually hitting the inventory. They are in stock now, but I'm just giving you that heads up because this video is going to sound a little bit past tense, but the update is that both products are in fact now in stock. So if you see the value and you want to gain access to it, you can get with me. If you're an existing member, you can always log into your back office or call customer service Monday through Friday Eastern Time, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern. So with that, enjoy. I'm going to cut it short. I'm not going to go into all of the prices because at the end of this video, there are a lot of pricings that were pre-launch material that no longer exists. So even if I happen to record a little bit of it up here, I'm already giving you the disclaimer not to pay attention to it because I don't know the exact time, but I'm going to try to make sure that I limit it and keep this as short as possible. So enjoy.
Hey, Zoom members, Ken Marsh here, and I'm excited to be able to share with you today some really cool news about some new products that are coming to Zoom Worldwide. They're coming in the month of November this year. So I want to go through a quick presentation, give you some details and information on it, and then give you a special opportunity to make some great savings by pre-ordering some of these products. So let's get into it here. There is another new product coming. Some of you are aware we've done a lot of new or newly updated products. So far in 2024, we're doing more before we get through the end of the year. In fact, like I said, 2 more arriving here in the month of November. Let's explore the market potential, though, for this very first product. I'm going to ask you some questions. They're right there on your screen. Check them out. Think about these questions. I'll give you the answers really quickly. One of the most popular health improvement categories ever. So think about that for a second. What would be one of the areas of health that most people have sought out for decades, right? And that, in fact, is one of the most popular areas of health improvement, period, in our world today. Number 2, this need has generated an entire industry. Okay, think about that. What do you know of that is an entire industry centered around it for health and wellness needs? Too much of this particular item leads to multiple health problems. An estimated 20 million Americans currently struggle with a sluggish blank. What do you think that fill in the blank answer is? And then more importantly, this category of pharmaceuticals has actually exploded in popularity. So you got some answers in your head? Let's go through it. Most popular improvement health category just about ever in history? Weight loss, weight management, right? I mean, think about all the places that you know of in your local town that are specializing in simply weight loss, let alone the national brands like Weight Watchers and Jenny Craig, and the list goes on, right? The need has generated an entire industry, and that's what I'm referring to. Think about how many companies, their sole purpose for existing is focusing on helping people lose weight, reshape their bodies, and get healthier, right? Too much of this leads to a lot of health problems. That's excessive body fat. In fact, if we remember back in the days of the pandemic, they said if you were overweight or obese, you were 50% more likely to be hospitalized if you caught the COVID virus, right? So we know that's not good for our health. We want to excess body fat. We want to lose that, right? Finally, an estimated 20 million Americans suffer from a sluggish thyroid is the answer to a sluggish thyroid. I mean, think about it. Do you know somebody, or maybe yourself, who's been diagnosed with hypothyroidism? Does that make it easier or harder to lose weight? If you've been diagnosed, or if you had problems in there, you already know the answer. It makes it a lot harder to lose weight. And then finally, this category of pharmaceuticals has absolutely exploded in popularity. And that is the GLP-1 medications, the semaglutides, the Wegovy's, the Ozempics, right? How many times have you seen commercials for these drugs recently on television or on the internet, right? When you're looking around, it's just a huge growing category in the pharmaceutical industry. So those are all true statements, right? We all know that to be true. And that's why I'm excited to announce our newest product. Now, you may look at it and go, well, that's not a new product. It actually is a new product. Yes, we're still calling it the Metabolize AM formula, but this is a product that's been completely rebuilt from the ground up. You know, for a long time, Xooma subscribed to this philosophy that if it's not broke, don't fix it. So we've done that for years with the Metabolize AM formula because it's still been working for people effectively around the globe. But as nutritional science evolves, we as a company also evolve with it. And there's been so much great new breakthrough nutritional technologies on how to help people shed excess body fat, reshape their body, that we knew it was time to completely overhaul and completely destroy and rebuild this product that we call Metabolize AM. So while the label may look sort of similar, and the name, of course, is the same to something you've seen in our product line, the entire formula has been redone. So let's go through that a little bit. This exclusive formula would do the following. Look at this. Reduce body fat. Who doesn't want that, right? Everybody wants to reduce body fat. Support lean muscle mass. That's a pretty important one, because if we're going to lose weight, lose body fat, but at the same time cannibalize lean muscle tissue, that's not good for our health. It's not good for our long-term weight management picture, because your lean muscle tissue is the metabolic engine of your body. Increase your metabolism and your personal energy levels. So again, if your metabolism is slow or sluggish, again, you're going to gain weight easier. It's going to be harder to lose weight. But more importantly, if your energy levels are low, if you don't feel like you want to do anything physically, if exercising sounds like the worst idea in the world to you, if just walking across a parking lot seems like a huge task, obviously we need to boost your energy level as well. So those are reasons, unfortunately, a lot of times people don't exercise. They don't get motivated to be physical, which is so important when we're trying to lose body fat and reshape our bodies. Helps control blood glucose levels and insulin. Now, if you think about those popular drugs that you're seeing on TV right now, those were originally designed to help people who had issues with blood sugar or insulin control, right? So unfortunately, those have now morphed into weight loss drugs. Even though they were never originally intended to be weight loss drugs, they've gotten very popular in that category, because one of the things that is true is if we can get blood sugar under control, if we can get insulin sensitivity back to where it should be, we can not only keep weight off, but we can lose it more effectively. And that's why those popular drugs you're seeing on television now are having such an effect, because they're helping people control blood sugar levels. That's actually one of the reasons they're working for people. But also the other reason that they're working goes to the next line that you're seeing on your screen here, and that is reducing carbohydrate cravings. You know, cravings for the bad stuff, right? It's always the high sugar, high carb stuff that we crave. We rarely crave healthy stuff, but as humans, we tend to crave the stuff that adds to our waistline and adds to our body fat, right? But the other side of this is that feeling of satiety or fullness. So one of the other things that these popular drugs are doing is they're helping people feel fuller longer, which means they're eating less calories, which means by default they should be not as prone to gaining weight. In fact, they should find it easier to lose weight because they're not as hungry all the time. But again, we want to address those issues. What we also want to do is support the body's ability to shed excess fat. That's the name of the game. Nobody really cares, if they're honest at the end of the day, on what that scale says. What they care about is how their clothes fit, how they look in the mirror, how they feel about themselves. And that has to do with body fat. And so we want to lose that. We want to use that as the body's primary source of energy. And then finally, supporting a healthy thyroid function. Like I said a moment ago, if you've been diagnosed with a sluggish thyroid, you already know how much of a struggle it is to keep the weight off, right? And unfortunately, a lot of people have sluggish thyroids and don't even know it. So we've got to keep thyroid function in good, healthy stead if we want a lean, healthy, low-fat body. And these are the types of things that we are targeting to accomplish with our new metabolized AM formula. Take a look at the screen here. This is one of 2 patented, trademark, clinically researched ingredients that are in this new formula. In fact, we've never, in the history of this particular product, had a trademark branded ingredient like this, let alone 2, which is what we have in this new formula. But Chromax, look at that on your screen, 45 patents and patent pending applications worldwide. That's a massive amount. 100 plus supporting research studies proving it's safe and effective. But it's the results it delivers that is one of the reasons we put it in this particular format. Check that out. 15 times better absorption of chromium. Now, chromium is important because that's a key ingredient for blood sugar control. This particular formula also is designed to help you lose the fat, like we talked about, but keep the muscle. We don't want to cannibalize that healthy muscle tissue because that helps to keep us lean. It helps to keep that body fat off. We're going to stave off hunger, right? We're going to decrease appetite. That's also very important, like we just talked about. Control those cravings, again, for all the bad things, and then speed up our metabolism. Now, this is just one ingredient in the formula, and it's got clinical data to back those things. What else is in this formula? Well, it's a product that we call caloriburn. Now, caloriburn is something very unique and different. It takes a different approach to helping us burn fat. It's 100% sourced, as you can see here, from something called grains of paradise. And this is a clinically researched nutrient that's been shown to activate what they call the brown adipose tissue, which is your brown fat. You have white fat, you have brown fat. The brown fat is the metabolically active and thermogenic fat. That's the good stuff. That's the stuff we want to keep more of. But it's that white fat that leads to inflammation, that leads to other problems in our health, and most importantly, it's the stuff that we want to lose to reshape and reclaim our bodies. So think of it this way. If you've seen on social media where a lot of people are doing those cold plunges, right? They get into these tubs of ice cold water and they're in there for 5 or 10 or maybe 15 minutes. One of the reasons that people are doing that, and it's become an internet craze, is because that change in temperature, that shift in the body where you quickly go from warm to cold, that actually helps to activate this brown adipose tissue, which again is designed to help you burn and eliminate the unwanted, unhealthy white fat. So that's one of the reasons you're seeing people doing cold plunges. Maybe you're doing those yourself. This particular ingredient is designed to help your body do that. And the clinical research has shown that you can see right there, 5 times increase in calories burned over 2 hours compared to the placebo, plus a significant increase in the metabolic rate within 30 minutes of consumption. So it doesn't take long for this ingredient to get in your system and start working. And then finally, that metabolic rate remained elevated for several hours after taking the product. So here you have a situation where you've got a product that you can take. It starts to work quickly, but it continues to work hours later. That's why we put it in the formula. Remember, we're designing this to help you burn off that excess body fat. This is the actual new label, as you're seeing, and the new supplement facts panel in there. And you can see right here, if you look right in the center of this supplement facts panel, proprietary blood sugar support plan. So in addition to some of these ingredients we're talking about, we also have a complete blend of nutrients that are designed and targeted specifically at blood sugar. Again, that was the original intent, or a lot of these popular drugs today, was to help people manage and control blood sugar. We're trying to also do that through this formula in a very natural way with natural nutrients and ingredients. So, formula itself, look at this. Vitamin B12 regulates cell metabolism, helps protein metabolism, both very important for weight management. Helps support energy production and metabolism by burning fat and carbohydrates more efficiently. So again, that's one of the reasons we have B12. It also supports energy in the body. Vitamin B12 is an energizer for the body as well. Selenium, key role in thyroid function, which again affects your metabolism and your energy levels. You have something called N-acetyl L-tyrosine in there. As you can see there, a natural amino acid helps boost noradrenaline and dopamine, which not only leads to better athletic performance, more energy, but it also helps to improve thyroid function. It helps the production of the thyroid hormones T3 and T4 that you hear so much about. Also supports cognitive performance and boosts serotonin, which is that feel-good chemical, makes you feel happy. Let's be honest, if you're mad, angry, upset, depressed, many of us turn to food as a comforting mechanism, right? That's not good if we're trying to lose weight and body fat. So we got to keep the serotonin levels in a good place to keep your attitude and your mood in a good, happy place as well. That supports your weight management, right? Dulce algae provides iodine. You've probably heard iodine, very important for the functioning of your thyroid gland, right? But it also supports healthy metabolism. But the bioactive compounds in dulse are also linked to improvements and to help you feel that fuller, more satiety after you've eaten, right? Or maybe before you've eaten, if you've taken this product before you eat, you don't tend to eat as much. That supports in that area as well. And then finally, the glucosterols. Powerful cleanser, helps the detoxification of the liver. Now that's important too, because if we've got a lot of toxin buildup in the body, our bodies tend to want to store more body fat. So we want to help detoxify the liver. We want to curb those cravings again to aid in our healthy weight management. And again, this particular ingredient also supports thyroid function. And then finally, you can see there, helps support healthy cholesterol and triglyceride levels. So this particular formula here is designed just like the original AM, in that it's designed to be used earlier in the day. So you can do one capsule in the morning, maybe one capsule in the early afternoon, maybe just do 2 capsules in the morning. But it's designed to help you, give you that energy boost. So obviously this is not the kind of product you want to take late in the evening, because it does have an energy component to that. And the one thing I'll share with you is if you are a little more sensitive to an energy type product, then you just start with 1 capsule. Like I said, maybe you do 1 early in the day, 1 midday. But if you're not super sensitive to something that would be stimulatory, then you can do 2 in the morning. You'll probably feel great. Again, you decide what's best for you. The good news is this particular formula is going to work wonders. Again, because there's so much research and science that goes behind the ingredients that are in this formula, we know it's going to help you achieve those weight management, specifically fat loss goals. So let's go to the next new product that's coming into Xooma. And we'll go into the, again, market availability or market appeal for something like this. So the first question is, this is one of the most popular categories in the health supplement market, right? Think about that for a second. If you had to think of all the things that are in the supplement market today, what do you think is one of the most popular categories in the supplement market? How about this? Deficiencies in this will lead to a myriad of health problems. And then, interestingly, in our country here in the United States, 24% of adults 20 through the age 39 consume this product every day. 30% approximately of those age 40 to 59 consume it every day, and almost 40% of those 60 and older consume this particular product every single day. So again, now we're getting closer. Some of you are already guessing. The majority, ironically, of today's doctors will actually tell their patients, hey, this is a good idea. This is something you should do on a daily basis. Have you guessed it yet? Well, if you guessed a multivitamin, multimineral, you are correct. So again, don't let that label fool you. This is an all-new product. And I'm going to go into details on this so you understand that this label looks the same. The name stayed the same, but what's inside that bottle, what's inside this formula has been completely overhauled and redone. Because again, we saw opportunities in the nutritional marketplace today where we see new breakthroughs in ingredient technology to be able to make this product even better, quite a bit better than what it was before. And it was already a great product. So let's go into those details, because in order to have something that's a multivitamin, multimineral, that's high quality, here's what you need. It has to be produced by a reputable company, period, right? Nobody wants to buy it from a company that's a little sketchy on their ethics or their morals, okay? Obviously, Xooma is that solid, reliable company that you can count on to do the right thing. Obviously, we also have to have these high-level manufacturing practices in place. We can't just assume that everybody that produces a supplement is producing them at these high-quality facilities. Sadly, a lot of them don't, especially if they're trying to compete solely and only on price. At Xooma, we've never gone that route. In fact, all of our manufacturers are here right in the United States. They're all FDA inspected, certified good manufacturing practice facilities. In fact, the vast majority of them are qualified to not only do nutraceuticals, they're also qualified to do pharmaceuticals. That's the level of quality of manufacturing that we use for all of Xooma's products. It has to also go beyond what we call this RDA. So when you look at a multivitamin, multimineral, you'll see a lot of times on the back, manufacturers work really hard to make sure they get you 100, 105, maybe even 110% of a particular nutrient. But understand they're using the RDA, the recommended daily value, as their baseline. What a lot of people don't know is the RDA really is the bare minimum. It's what our regulatory agencies have decided is what the human body needs at a minimal level for day-to-day survival. Not for thriving, not for optimal health, but for basic survival, right? So I think that we should never shoot just for an RDA. We should always shoot for what I call ODIs, which is an optimal daily intake, because we want to increase that amount of intake so that our bodies aren't just getting by, but we're giving our bodies enough of the nutrients it needs and requires on a regular daily basis so that it can thrive and achieve better and more optimal health. That's why we want to do it. And that's exactly what we do in the Life Source formula. also has to include nutrients that are highly absorbable. I can tell you that a lot of the cheap vitamins and supplements like that on the market today will use things that to the average consumer, they can't tell the difference. Well, it just says calcium, it says B12, it says, folate, and it says all these things that look familiar. Every product kind of looks the same on the label, but it's the ingredient sources that make the biggest difference. So what you want to do is when you're looking at a multivitamin, you want to make sure that, number one, they list the sources of the ingredients. If they don't, that's a big red flag in my opinion. But if they do list the sources of the ingredients next to that standard item that you would typically see on the vitamin, what you want to do is look at, is that the best, most absorbable form of that nutrient so that I can get the most performance out of this multivitamin? And if you start to really dive deep, like I have on a lot of these popular multivitamins that you see on the marketplace today, a lot of them have poor quality absorption ingredient sources that they're using. So think of it this way: if you don't absorb it, that means your body can't use it, which means you're spending a lot of money for not a lot of return, if you will, from your multivitamin. That's why what we did in this brand new formula, we looked through every single ingredient category and said, what is the most absorbable form that we could be using of that particular ingredient? And that's what we chose to use. And that's why we're proud to show you all the ingredient sources for every ingredient on the label itself. And then it also has to contain, again, a high enough dosage in adequate amounts so that it's able to provide everything that your body should be getting on a daily basis, especially if we're not getting it from our diet. And again, I don't know how companies can claim that one tiny tablet a day gives them everything that they need, because in Xooma, we created an incredible multivitamin, multimineral complex here, but it took us 4 capsules to get it all in. So I don't know how companies can advertise 1 or 2 tiny tablets a day is all you need from us. It's just a mystery to me, unless they're just putting in, again, the bare minimum of those ingredients, which of course, again, we just talked about is the wrong way to go. So let's talk about what's new in this formula. So you're seeing at the very top here, a whole new, whole food based formula that includes organic ingredients. So again, we've never had a whole food based multivitamin in Xooma. We now do. It includes an exclusive adaptogenic blend of 7 organic mushrooms. You've probably seen the popularity of these therapeutic mushrooms and mushroom extracts explode on the internet lately. There's all kinds of talk about and buzz about mushroom extracts, and that's for good reason. There's a lot of health benefits to be had. So we're using not only 7, we're using organic source for them in this new formula. We're also using several new vitamin and mineral sources, like I suggested, to increase the bioavailability of what you're getting. So we looked at some of those things that we were using before and said, we can do a better job there. We can make better decisions on ingredient sources so that you get the most out of the formula possible. And then we also have organic fruits, veggies, and greens included in this new life source. So again, think about the marketplace today. A lot of people are out there buying products that are just fruits and veggie capsules. People are also out there buying just greens products, whether it's capsules or green drinks, right? So we know that these are things that are popular in the marketplace. A lot of people are looking for them because most people are educated now, especially if they're health conscious. You just can't get, it's very hard to get everything that you need from just your diet alone, especially if we're going for lower quality produce and lower quality food when we step into the grocery store, right? A lot of us are looking at the prices of organic stuff these days and thinking twice about it. But the problem is when we go non-organic in our produce, we end up with a much lower quality nutrient for our body, or less of those nutrients in that food. And again, there's other challenges that can go along with that. That's a different day and a different discussion. But also in here is what we call oxnea. Now, oxnea is a clinically researched polyphenol concentrate. Provides the same antioxidant protection as 2 full servings of fruits and vegetables. So again, this is something that's really exciting, because now, again, if we're the kind of person that knows we should be eating more fruits and vegetables, but we're probably maybe not doing it as often as we know we should, now we've got a multivitamin that's providing us the same antioxidant protection as if we were doing at least 2 servings of that fruits and vegetables a day. By the way, that's on top of the other organic fruits, veggies, and greens blends that's in this formula. It's a completely separate part of the formula. In fact, let's go to the formula. You can see it right here on your screen. And again, you can see, just like I suggested to you, all of the resources of where we're getting the ingredients are listed there so that you can see that they're high quality ingredients. Plus, down here at the bottom, you can see there's those new blends, the organic fruits, veggies, and greens. You can look at the oxnea polyphenol concentrate blend. Look at the proprietary adaptogenic mushroom blend. I mean, really a powerhouse of nutrients in this new formula. So we're very proud of this. I think you're going to love it. when you try this. But I want to just touch on some quick highlights here, because I want you to understand just some examples of some of the things we changed and why we changed it. So as an example, at the very top there, you see it says methacobalamin is the new source of vitamin B12. See, a lot of times there are concerns that people maybe aren't able to methylate as well as they should have or could have when they were younger, right? And so the ability to break down nutrients, absorb them, put them to use in the body, for a lot of people, especially as we age, that's a problem. The methacobalamin is been shown to actually be a more absorbable, more readily available form of vitamin B12 for the body. So we chose to go that route on this new formula. Magnesium biglycinate, again, is a different form of magnesium. We could have gone with oxide. It's a whole lot cheaper to use magnesium oxide. The problem is it's nowhere near as absorbable or usable as if we just put in magnesium biglycinate right out of the gate, right? So you get better usage out of the product. This L5-MTHF is the form of folate, which is the only one that can go across the blood-brain barrier, okay? And this is important for a lot of functions in the body. However, brain functions have a definite benefit from folic acid, but the problem with folic acid itself is the body has to convert it into something that can be broken down and used, and that is that L5 form. So rather than just putting cheap folic acid in here, we went with the actual form that the body would normally break it down to anyway. So you can imagine how much better the absorption is going to be and the utilization of that in the body, when we're not asking the body to break down folic acid to turn it into this L5 ingredient that we've already added to the formula. And again, in this particular formula, we're using chromium. Chromium is definitely used for a lot of things in the body, including, like we mentioned earlier, blood sugar management. But we used in this particular formula a polynicotinate. So there's a lot of standardized forms of chromium you can use. Most of them are called picolinate. We went with a much more absorbable, better performing version called polynicotinate. Again, costs a little bit more, but the trade-off is worth it because you get better benefits from it. And then it provides a lot of those key nutrients like we were talking about today that, again, if we were honest with ourselves, we're probably not eating the ideal diet, right? I mean, if we were eating nothing but organic fruits and veggies and nothing but grass-fed meats and wild-caught fish, we probably wouldn't be nearly as in need of a multivitamin. But most people in the real world don't live that life every single day. And if you do, congratulations, you're one of the small percentage of the population that really takes your diet seriously. But a lot of us are human, and a lot of us still eat and drink things that maybe aren't the best for us. So that's okay. That's part of the human experience. But if we know we're not doing the best we could in our dietary choices, it makes a multivitamin, multi-mineral formula, especially like this brand new Life Source, that much more important for us to be able to get the nutrients the body needs on a daily basis to maintain and continue towards that optimal health picture that all of us hope and dream to have. And the saying on the screen is so true. The most expensive multivitamin you're going to take